You know what the number one job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is?
What?
Is to act like it didn't happen. They all do the same job.
Honestly, just saw like Christian, Justin, Quincy kind of start circling Ray a little bit. Words were exchanged. Things started getting heated as we went into the parking garage. You know, I feel like chests were being bumped.
That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Got punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man. So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there because they get fluid. And next thing you know, once you go fluid, it's gone. You don't have any foundation to pull yourself back from. So maintain your man card, no matter what.
You are absolutely not going to believe the wild ride this Diddy saga has taken. I mean, we're still processing everything with him, but now his sons, Justin and Christian, they're finding themselves smack dab in the middle of the drama.
Yeah, it's fascinating, isn't it? How this whole thing is expanding beyond just Diddy himself.
Right.
The allegations, the reported reactions involving his sons. It kind of suggests we might be looking at a much broader picture of how things operate in their world.
Okay, so first up, Katt Williams. You know he's always outspoken.
Oh yeah, never holds back.
He's throwing some serious fuel on this fire. Claims Diddy's sons, Justin and Christian, were like beyond ticked off at Terrence Howard.
Well, you can kind of see why they might be upset, right? Terrence went public with some pretty jaw-dropping stuff about their dad.
Totally. But Katt says it went further.
Yeah.
He alleges there was like an actual plan for them to jump Terrence for putting their father on blast.
Wow. You know, you hear that and it makes you think about like family loyalty in these high-profile situations. Yeah. This alleged reaction, it suggests this need to protect their dad, maybe regardless of the claims, and maybe hints at how conflicts get handled in their circle.
And wait, hold on. It gets even juicier. There's this other story, right? An alleged run-in?
The parking garage one?
Yeah, involving Christian, Justin, and Quincy. Apparently, they cornered Ray J.
Right, and things got heated fast, like really heated. We're talking raised voices, maybe some chest bumping, a real confrontation.
It definitely paints a picture, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Suggests the sons are not happy with people talking negatively about Diddy.
And when you put that next to the alleged plan for Terrence Howard, this Ray J incident, if it happened like that, could indicate a pattern. You know?
Like, are these just isolated blowups, or is it something more?
Exactly, like a broader effort maybe to, I don't know, silence or intimidate critics. It raises that question.
Okay, let's actually dig into what Terrence Howard said. What caused all this supposed reaction?
Right. So he went on a podcast basically validating years of whispers, really. Claimed Diddy was involved in some seriously wild stuff behind the scenes with men. That's a direct quote, basically.
Yeah. And get this, Terrence even alleged Diddy made a pass at him.
Yeah, under the guise of, like, acting lessons or something.
Can you believe that? He essentially said Diddy has a history of setting people up in weird situations.
What's significant there is you have a known actor, Terrence Howard, adding his own personal story to this whole narrative around Diddy.
Right, not just rumors anymore.
And him speaking out like that, some might see it as a real challenge to that, you know, that culture of silence you sometimes get in entertainment.
And you got to remember, Katt Williams and Diddy, they have history.
Yeah.
This isn't new.
Oh, definitely not.
Remember that huge Club Shay interview? That was just like the start. Katt even claimed Diddy offered him $50 million.
For one night. Yeah, I remember that. Said he turned it down multiple times.
For his integrity, he said. So it's really no surprise Katt is firmly backing Terrence Howard on all this.
Katt's past comments, his consistency, it gives you a sense of a perspective that's been around for a while in some industry circles about Diddy.
Right.
And his support for Terrence probably just reinforces that perception for a lot of people.
Okay, now let's shift gears a bit to the specific allegations against Justin Combs. These are serious.
Yeah, these come from that Lil Rod lawsuit, the producer.
Yeah.
And they are.
Yeah.
Well, they're deeply disturbing.
We're talking claims that Justin was soliciting young girls, hiring sex workers for these alleged freak-off parties.
It gets darker. Lil Rod alleges Justin was involved in what he calls Diddy's substance game.
Right.
And part of acclaimed Ryco enterprise. That involves substances, weapons, exploiting creatives. It's heavy stuff.
And the DUI thing, the claim Justin took the fall for Diddy.
Yeah, that's in there too.
Terrific.
An alleged cover-up to shield Diddy.
These are incredibly serious claims. If any of this is true, it points to a really troubling environment, potential criminal activity.
And that term, RICO enterprise, that suggests, potentially organized, widespread illegal behavior, way beyond just one person's actions.
And Justin's mom, Misa Halden, she did not hold back.
No, she didn't. Her comment, "Fish rots from the head down."
Oof. Pretty clear where she thinks the blame lies.
Absolutely. And she even said, if anything happens to her son, everyone knows who she'd hold responsible.
That's powerful, raw, coming from a mother.
It adds this really personal family dimension to the whole thing, and yeah, directly implicates Diddy in her view, really underscores the gravity.
Okay, so then there's Christian Combs.
Yeah.
Facing his own serious accusations.
Right, a separate lawsuit from a stewardess, Grace O'Marcake.
Alleging he nearly assaulted her on a yacht just before New Year's 2023.
Yeah, her claim is her drink was spiked, that Christian made unwanted advances, and when she resisted, things allegedly got physical. She even claims he, trapped her in the yacht's theater room.
And she has evidence, photos.
She's reportedly submitted photos of bruises.
Yeah.
The details in that lawsuit, they paint a really disturbing picture. Alleged predatory behavior, potential abuse of power.
Especially in a confined space like a yacht.
Exactly. And the photos, if they show what she says, add a significant layer to her account. Makes the claims very serious.
And it's not just the lawsuit for Christian, right? He's gotten flack online, too.
Yeah, criticism about how he portrays his girlfriend in posts, people calling it objectifying.
Okay. So, separate from the legal stuff, but adds to the public conversation around him.
Right. Contributes to the broader perception, I guess.
Now, let's circle back. Remember we mentioned Diddy's sons allegedly planning to confront Terrence Howard? Well, word is this might not have been a one-off. Apparently, they also tried to go after Ray J last year sometime.
After Ray J started criticizing Diddy publicly, following the federal stuff and the lawsuits.
Exactly. And you have to think Ray J and Diddy, they used to be tight.
Yeah.
Really close.
Yeah, that's what makes his criticism so noticeable. For someone who was an insider to speak out so strongly.
It definitely turned heads. And Ray J said some powerful things about people being robbed of not only their money and their spirituality, they're getting robbed of their womanhood and manhood. Strong words.
Very strong. It suggests a major shift in his perspective, obviously, and a willingness to, break ranks publicly.
So apparently, things came to a head at Torah Electra's Halloween party in LA.
Okay.
Quincy, Christian, and Justin allegedly cornered Ray J in the parking lot.
Oh, wow. So this is the incident we talked about earlier.
Yeah. And apparently it got super intense. Hazel E. was there, said she genuinely thought someone might pull out a weapon.
Seriously, that intense.
That's the report. But here's the craziest twist. Guess who stepped in?
Who?
Chris Brown. Apparently he just appeared and de-escalated the whole thing.
Chris Brown. No way.
Yep. Talk about an unexpected peacebooker.
That is surprising. Wow. It just shows you the complex web of relationships in that whole scene, doesn't it?
Totally. And how things can shift on a dime.
Unexpected actions changing the whole dynamic.
So, where does all this leave us? I mean, what are you making of this whole tangled mess? It's way beyond typical celebrity gossip, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's layers upon layers. Allegations, reported confrontations, serious legal issues involving not just Diddy, but his sons now, too.
You definitely have a much clearer picture now, though. The complexity surrounding Diddy, and now these alleged actions by Justin and Christian.
And as you piece it all together, you start seeing potential connections, right? What does it all potentially say about power dynamics in entertainment?
Yeah, and the consequences, maybe, of speaking out against powerful people.
Exactly. It raises these really serious questions about accountability, about the ripple effects of alleged behavior.
Definitely keep all these details filed away, because this story feels like it's far from over.
No, I think there's likely more to come, for sure.
But now at least you've got a solid grasp on the key players and the alleged events so far.
The big question now is just what happens next?
That's what everyone's wondering.